Hi, so today we are presenting an article that we found on women and workplace discrimination. So, in professional spaces, mentorship is often highly appreciated as a way in which more people can be guided and nurtured to fulfill the potential associated with their careers. Not surprisingly, such characteristics as culture and power distance played the decisive role in how mentorship presents in the modern settings. However, Yu and Lee report that there has been minimal or almost non existent research on the impact that mentors have on the female professionals reporting gender based discrimination, including sexual harassment at the workplace. Such a situation provides a glaring information gap, particularly when the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission reports that there are approximately 26,000 sex-based discrimination complaints filed in the 2017 financial year. Furthermore, the article adds that not only are the women in professional spaces subject to sex-based discrimination, but they also suffer discrimination based on their race and disability. The situation is further exacerbated by the fact that there are potentially more cases of discrimination that are not reported. The authors conceptualize the concept of culture by trying to demonstrate that certain workplace customs and traditions where sexual discrimination and harassment is ignored draw similarities to the treatment of women in the wider societal culture. According to Yu and Lee, male officers' opposition to female officers is well documented since law enforcement agencies are overly emasculated through a hostile masculine subculture that seeks to maintain the social and gender status quo. In this regard, the authors draw parallels between organizational culture and societal culture, how they can influence each other, becoming the underlying factor between certain issues. In light of the rampant discrimination that women face in the workplace, especially in governmental workplaces, the article sought to investigate whether there was a relationship between mentorship and reporting workplace discrimination. To this effect, Yu and Lee utilized a survey dataset of 1,113 female officers from a large federal law enforcement agency as participants, integrating Corson's exact matching to investigate mentorship in a mentor's gender and how they had an effect on women's reporting patterns. The study sought to investigate whether female officers who had a mentor were more likely to report sexual harassment and discrimination than female officers who had no mentor. The email-based survey had a 41.2% response rate, revealing that female officers were 29.1% more likely to report sexual harassment when they had mentors. However, when age and work years remained constant, there seemed to be no discernible difference in whether mentors helped women to report cases of sexual discrimination. Therefore, it can be concluded that mentorship can be used as a predictor, allowing females to report inappropriate behavior in workspaces when they have advisors or those guiding them. Mentorship must be viewed as more than just a way in which people can advance their careers, but as a way the mentor is protecting and safeguarding workers' right to equality.
The researchers used Qualtrics surveys to collect responses from female officers in one federal agency, and they examined mentorship and its effects on reporting behaviors when women encounter sexual harassment and sex discrimination in the workplace. The responses were anonymous, and the responses were yes or no. We believe that the treatment and outcome variables were clearly defined, where treatment variable examined whether female officers have a mentor or not, and for those who have a mentor, the gender of the mentor was recorded. And the outcome variables examined their experiences with sexual harassment and sex discrimination. These variables were also yes or no question. And there are covariates such as age, education level, and minority status were also included, and the researchers used data to run the course and exact matching because it reduces the endogeneity bias from demographic and work characteristics. So the findings suggest that there is no correlation between mentorship and women officers reporting behaviors. We believe that because the researchers only include one federal law agency, so it's almost impossible to draw a conclusion based on the small sample size. Moving on to limitations and alternative methods. So the first limit is that we believe that the researchers had no clear definition of women. We believe that they didn't clarify whether the women were binary or non-binary. So we suggest that in future research, the researchers should define all main terminology at the start of the paper or in their introduction section. And secondly, they only focus on women in law enforcement who are qualified to carry, because we believe that sexual harassment and gender-based discrimination happen in all kinds of workplace. So we suggest that the researchers should look at populations outside of law enforcement and also in women-dominated fields, look at the difference from male-dominated fields. Moreover, the researchers only consider a mentorship if the mentor was within the company. We believe that outside factor is also important, such as like therapists and other stuff. So we believe that the future research should look at participants with outside mentors and see if that plays a role in their reporting behavior. And last but not least, the researchers did not clarify their race and ethnicity, even though minority status in the data collection was noted, but it was just a yes or no response. We believe that race and ethnicity play a huge role, especially in the US. So in future research, it is necessary to specify participants' race and ethnicity in future. And here is our references, and thank you for listening.